There's a particular kind of man I see often in my work. He's not the rebel who blew his life up chasing various kinds of pleasures. In fact, often he's the opposite. He's the man who tries his best to do everything right, to live right by others, helping them out wherever he can. He's reliable. He's committed. He's the faithful man. And yet, somewhere along the way, something inside of him has slowly started to die. Because faithful men, we often learn something dangerous without realizing it. We learn how to ignore our desires. Desire seems irresponsible. It seems immature. It seems for others, but not for us. And so our job as faithful, reliable men is to keep showing up, to do our work, to fulfill our duty, being there for others whenever they need. But joy and pleasure and desire are all suspect. They're luxuries that we don't allow ourselves to afford because our job is simply to work. And for the most part, for a while, this does work. We are efficient. We are productive. We're the one that others rely on in times of need. And many times we are the most reliable one in the room. But the problem is that our desires don't go away. And so when we don't express our desires, they go underground. And so now we become restless. We become distracted. We may engage in various vices that are safe and not disruptive, but yet still harming our soul. Because we don't know how to express our desire, they just go underground and affect us from the inside out. We lose our ability to appreciate joy and beauty and life to the full, which impacts even our day-to-day relationships. That we have a hard time giving our whole heart to our wife, to our kids, to our friends, because all we know is work. And so we can be surrounded by people and still lonely, and they can long for us. They can feel lonely in our presence because we don't know how to give them the fullness of our heart. All we know how to do is work and serve. While all good things, we can still miss the depth of our relationships when we don't bring the fullness of our desires present in these relationships as well. And this is where a lot of my work with men begin. A lot of my work with men begins in simply recovering their desires, reminding them that the desire itself is not the problem, but often how they've expressed their desire or what they've done with their desires. That when we've repressed or suppressed our desires, again, they don't go anywhere. They're just coming out sideways. How do we now live life to the full? Part of living life to the full is recovering our holy desires. This does not suggest that anything goes. But this doesn't mean that we kill our desires as well. That there are good things. And yes, we need maturity to sort through what is a holy desire and what is an unholy desire. But we don't have to throw desire itself out. We don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater just because we need to sort through holy desires and unholy desires. In order to live life to the full, we need to fully embrace our holy desires. Where in your life have you ignored what your heart has been asking for? And what are those holy desires that you have dismissed because you assumed they were unrealistic? What would be different if you could see these desires as God-given? He planted them in your heart like a type of breadcrumb leading you towards your best. But often first we simply have to listen. The desires don't often immediately ask us to act, simply to listen. And so when those deep desires in your heart stir, while you're a faithful man, when those deep desires stir, can you first just listen and bring them before God? Lord, here am I, your servant is listening.